Hi, fourth grade. Today is going to be a chance for you to review all that we have learned from chapter 20. This chapter was extremely heavy in vocabulary. As a result, I think it's really important that you spend most of your review time today going over the vocabulary that we learned in this chapter. Each lesson in this chapter gave you about 5 to 8 new math words to learn. So the first thing I'd like you to do for your review today is to study the vocabulary for all lessons that you wrote down in your math journals. If you didn't write those down in detail, you might want to go back to the previous videos and rewatch the beginning where we talk about the vocabulary and I explain and model it for you. Once you do that, I'd like you to complete the extra practice on page 538 to 539. You just need to do the odds. This is extra practice that will help you prepare for your online quiz, which will be tomorrow. Instead of going through a whole review lesson with you on a video, I want you to really put your pencil to the paper and practice for yourself. I modeled so much out for you in this chapter that I want to make sure you understand how to do it yourself. So this is your time to practice. Please make sure you study the vocabulary first from the lessons before you go on to extra practice. So when you're ready for extra practice, you'll turn to page 538 in your textbook. And I'd like you in just a moment to pause the video. And here's the answer key. Please do not look at the answer key as you solve the problems, or that doesn't actually help you in any way, shape, or form. So there are a couple of these problems that, for example, for extra practice set A, the instructions just say to check students' drawings. So for those ones, just check your work with your vocabulary to make sure the picture you drew looks like the example from the vocabulary. Okay, so instead of modeling out a whole lesson today, I want to make sure that you have time to practice and really understand this for yourselves. So after you complete this, if you have any questions, mark on your paper where those questions are so that on Friday when we do our Zoom, I can answer those questions for you before you take your test. So I would like you to wait to take your Chapter 20 online test until after our Zoom meeting so that I can answer questions and review with you. I will be posting the quiz, the online quiz, in the morning on Friday, but I prefer you to wait until after our Zoom meeting so that you are able to ask me questions, okay? So I'm going to turn this all over to you now. I'd like you to study your vocabulary that you wrote down in your journal or re-review the beginning part of each lesson video from this chapter, and then go ahead and complete the extra practice from page 538 and 539. Just solve the odd problems so that you're able to practice. If you want to do them all, you're welcome to, but I'm just asking you to do the odds. And then I will see you for Zoom on Friday at 11 a.m. for questions about Chapter 20.